what do you see exactly happening to capitalism in like over the next century, maybe 2 centuries? Whether it's in the context of a human environment, society, maybe the kinds of outlets that we have that just tend to multiply so much over time. What do you see happening exactly over the next century or two?
Well, as I said, I think we will mediate. I think we've recently found. I wrote an essay, I think in '02, called "The Day," about the discovery of the first Earth-like planet, and we're getting closer and closer. And and I think we just found what they call a super Earth, about 80 or 100 light years away. I think that uh, you capitalist impulses need to be controlled. They have to be harnessed. Imagine you're like a lion trainer. You can't let a hungry lion loose uh, in a playground. It'll devour the kids. What you have to do is you have to have that lion trained behind bars or whatnot to entertain the children. It has to be put to a service. The idea of Adam Smith's mythical invisible hand is just ridiculous. There's never been capitalism that wasn't controlled by a few power makers. And I'm not talking the Illuminati or Jewish bankers kind of nonsense. But without a doubt, there are people that have vested interests. If, for example, Alex, if your mother or your father had been rich and had been a rich real estate investor, and you wanted to get into real estate, you're going to have a lot easier time because you can just use their connections. Whether you're a good investor or good at selling whatever product it is, your connections count more than your innate ability. And that's something that's wrong. It's wrong in the arts when you get favoritism. It's wrong in business. But getting back to what I said about like the Earth, finding like an Earth, like I think a good example of where capitalism will be a good idea is people will want to invest to be the first people to explore that planet. Now they may be investing in a doomsday mission that might never get there. They may get there and be enslaved by the Borg, who'll come to Earth, follow back the pathway or something. Who knows? But I think that will capitalism is good for short-term goals and for directed goals. It's not good for general things. And we want to if you want to put uh, a man on the moon, that's a short-term goal. We did it in a decade. If we wanted to, for example, stop global warming, we could. I mean, we know, for example, that there are ways that we could, by dumping a lot of the excess iron down into the oceans to rot, that it would help absorb some of the carbon gases and whatnot. Now, who knows if we could do it right? We'd probably end up sending ourselves into an ice age, but uh, there are ways to do it. And I think in the next 1 or 200 years, someone looking, say, 200 years from now at this video saying, oh, there's that old time writer. He's being interviewed by that other writer, but and they'll barely know our names maybe, but they'll say, yeah, that was an interesting conversation. But uh, 200 years from now, I think there will be the tendency towards mediation. You call it mediocrity. I call it more or less mediation. Will be a good thing. And I think even, I mean, there will still be tribes in New Guinea and in the Amazon, what's left of it. There will be tribal peoples out there, that are going to reject things. There still will be the Mennonite type people that reject things. But I think most everyone else will live in relative comfort. Just as 200 years ago, if we're going back to 1815, I mean, even someone like me who's not into I work mostly blue collar jobs. Even someone like me lives much better than my counterpart did 200 years ago. And I so, so I think the mediating forces do have a positive outlook, and I think the future is brighter than a lot of people give credit for. I don't subscribe to Armageddon stuff. I don't think we have the power right now as a civilization to destroy life on Earth. I mean, even if we nuked ourselves, uh, that might be the only thing that could do it. But even then, there'd still be single-celled creatures. I don't see a robopocalypse, a Matrix kind of thing where we invent our own enslavers. We'll evolve with robots. I think we'll live healthier. I think if you have a kid, say, in 5 or 10 years, in 2025, that kid has a good chance, if he's born in 2025, to be around in 2150. I mean, I really do. I think we're going to see the expansion of human life. I think when we get nanobots and things that can go into our bloodstreams and you know these are things the size of viruses that can be programmed to just wipe things out, and then after 40 days or something, they'll shut down and you'll just shit them out of your system basically. I think people will live longer and healthier, and these will be things that the people who invent that should get remunerated for, much more so than a Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, Facebook, I like the nipple slip. That's not as important as inventing a nanobot that can cure cancer. So I think I'm generally positive, even though I think overall capitalism has a lot of sins and a lot of things to answer for.